It's got all the bells and whistles, but none of the bells and whistles do anything. You'd think there'd be lights up in here. No, nothing. You get bulbs for 60-year-old toys. Oh my god, this fucking boiler. So can you imagine getting this under the tree in the 1960s, huh? This here is a TV jet, sometimes called the Jimmy Jet. It was made by a company called Deluxe Reading, or it could be Reading, not really sure. They're They were a New Jersey company. They were around from the 50s to the early 70s. The founder, his name was Henry Orenstein, and he was a Holocaust survivor. They produced several different toy brands. The name of the company was changed to Topper Toys, and they did Johnny Lightning, the Dawn Doll, some robots and stuff. They went into bankruptcy, it looks like, in 73. I'm getting this from Wikipedia. The Deluxe Toy Creations was started in 1951, and they made a lot of different toys, so that was kind of neat. So anyway, this one came out in the 60s. It really doesn't do much. It's got a scope up here you can look through. You can steer. It's got a plane that lights up, and I guess you're trying to fly over the landscape. It's got 2 missiles that go in here, and they get released, I think, by these levers here. Other than that, that's all it really does. None of the other levers do anything or work. Bring you around here to the back. So as you can see, it's got the reel, the viewfinder that you can look through. I guess maybe the outer levers probably controls. Maybe the speed of that. We'll probably get into that. Yeah, what else? It's got an electric motor over here that runs the thing, and it's got a ground here that's off, so we'll find out where that goes. So I don't even know if I want to bother putting batteries in it yet, because if that's out, it's not going to work. So yeah, I want to do a little wabi-sabi on this. I don't want to completely restore it, because A, it's not a desirable piece. B, it wouldn't be really worth it much after. So I think I'm just going to do it as is. I want to get the motor working and maybe do something with the back here to make it, look a little better in the back for display purposes. So anyway, yeah, let me want to do some cleanup on it, and let's look at this motor, see why that's disconnected, and if I can reconnect that. Let's see what this does. It almost looks like this would come out as a carriage. That's the bulb. That's how you change the bulb. Makes sense. To find where this goes to. Obviously all does not come out of there. That is that's screwed in there. Let's see if we can take out the reel. Oh, red one came off too. Alright, well I can kind of see here. Got your two poles there, the motor. So, warm up the soldering iron and get those two reattached. And we'll put some batteries in it, see what happens. While I'm waiting for the soldering iron to warm up, I can see this plane where it flies up in here. It's a little bit bent, so I want to make sure he's straight. You can notice that from the front when I was looking at it. There you go. You just want to pull him back a little so he's not touching the plexi. Alright, those are both back in. Saw this trick on YouTube. We're going to see if it works. Nice. Alright, let's put the battery cover over here to hold them in. I don't hear anything happening yet, so I don't know if that means it's not working yet or what. Is there an on button? So how would you start it? Battery's going to the motor. So I had let the electric parts cleaner and the DeOxit kind of sit in here for a little bit. Let that, and then that started working free. So the way you turn it on, I have the batteries in it. There's the farmost right lever here. Turn that on. That gets it going. The far left lever over here makes it adjust your speed. But I don't have any lights on it. The light bulb's not working, so I'm almost thinking that's a ground connection here, but we're going to look at that here in a second. So it's running. That's cool. All the wires are joined with these pegs into these holes, and what I noticed was I'd already lost one over here. Got that fixed. Just want to make sure we're getting good continuity all through here. So, twist these in. And then it's just a matter of forcing that peg back in the hole. I want to check for continuity on this yellow wire because I didn't think I was getting it before. Alright, there's continuity there. Where's the other one goes? Up to here. And yeah, I got continuity there too, so. Something else that turns the light on. It should be on when the motor's on, so I'm wondering if that bulb's blown. Alright, so I'm starting to get down to, I think it's the bulb in here that's burned out. Or there's a bad connection in here somewhere. Basically, turn it on, get it going. I got a full flashlight bulb here, and I got the ground on the base. I'm just touching the end in it. lights up to life. Alright, before I throw out this old bulb, I just want to check it out of circuit like I did with the flashlight bulb. And like if that works, if this works, then it's the socket. So let's see what happens. We're running. Yeah, and we're getting nothing. So that bulb is burned out, so that's good news. I can get one of those, you know. Hopefully. You get bulbs for 60-year-old toys. So it's late. I'll probably have to go to a hardware store and get one of those tomorrow. Hopefully they have something similar. But anyway, that's a good start. So I did a couple of things off camera. One of the things I did was, if you noticed before, this was actually running backwards. So I reversed the polarity of the soldered lugs here, and that changed the direction of the motor. So if you're repairing one of these, the ground one goes on the lug closest to you. The red one goes on the one farther back. Also went to the hardware store, grabbed myself a new bulb. It's a GE14. This is what that calls for. Screws right in there like that. Use your wing nut to secure it in there. Alright. So, the left one does the speed, the right one starts it. So here, this is how it works. We're on. It's flying. We can speed it up. That's all it does. Seriously, that's all it does. It's got all the bells and whistles, but none of the bells and whistles do anything. You'd think there'd be lights up in here. No, nothing. Another thing I want to do is the steering wheel here is super loose from the plane. So I want to see if I can tighten that up here a little bit. That's a little bit better. Another thing I wanted to do was the little radar plastic is popping through here, so I was hoping I could push it back into place. Actually reach it from under here. Alright. That's it. Doesn't make any sounds. Nothing. So these came with just a regular black cardboard backing, which obviously is gone in this case. I didn't want to just leave it open like this for display purposes or whatever, so I kind of made a panel here, and I made it a little oversized so that I can trim it to how I need it. So yeah, I'm going to lay this out and start trimming it down, and I think that'll look pretty good on there. I've got this panel trimmed up in here, ready to be put in with the screws. There are 3 screws. There's one here, and one up in the center, and then there's tabs that hold it at the bottom. I also wanted to mention that the art for this I got off of the Kenner Death Star playset from the 70s, so that's apropos for me. And I turned it this bluish red color to try to match the rest of it. I think that is a pretty good job. Before I go putting that in, I want to kind of clean out the inside. It's a little bit dirty over here, so a couple spritzes of some APC will do it. So I had never heard of this company Deluxe reading or Deluxe Reading. I thought I knew all the toys, but I didn't know this one. They were sold, it seems like supermarkets. So, yeah, it looks like they were sold in supermarkets, but they had some really cool play sets for, this is the early 60s, mid 60s for $11.88 is usually what I'm seeing them, their play sets listed for. And they had some really cool ones. They had the Battle Wagon. I mean, man, look at how much fun would that be, you know? And they had Operation X-500. It was a space station. And they also had this Playmobil, which was like, you know, driving a car. And, yeah, kind of neat stuff. For the price point, you know, this thing doesn't, I mean, this one doesn't really have too much play value, I think. You have two functions. The thing spins. It goes faster. It lights up there to look like a TV screen. So it's really only one function. It spins. And the second function might be the missiles. So not much play value in this thing, but so these three little tabs that hold it, that get riveted into your piece of board. So yeah, I'm gonna install those back in. Just got to kind of figure out how far away they are. I'm gonna rivet these in. Rivet. Let's give it a little more strength to hold it together. Do a finish nail. I just want to get a little hole started here for those. I think I want to rivet them in from the front. So the rivet will go through the hole. Like that. Let's see. So that's my rivet end. Push that through. Just want to make it as flat as possible. Oh, that went in nice. Rivet gun's kind of cool. It's like one of the first tools I started using when I was set free in the garage to play with tools. And I think one of the first cool things I made with a rivet gun was a Freddy Krueger glove. So I had an old work glove, and I think for the metal I used an old tin oil funnel and cut it into the pieces and each of the joints on the fingers, and I used rivets to put it all together. And I was like so psyched. There was a store here. You can go to the store, and in the discount store, and these sets were like, I mean, $1. And you could do so much with them. There you go. Nice. And now these line up for your screw holes. Yeah, that's going to look cool in there. Before I put this all back together, I wanted to reiterate what I did inside. in case you have one of these that needs to be fixed. The wiring is super simple. Out of the battery terminals, you got, let's see, you have your black, which goes back to the switch, and then comes up to this nub on the right, and then that gets soldered to the frontmost lug on your motor, right? The red wire gets soldered onto the backmost, and that will make your reel run the right way. Just make sure all your contact switches are working and that they're connected too. These connections are done with these pins, so they wrap it around a piece of metal, all three common wires, and push it into here to keep them all together. So you could have a bad connection there. Also, you want to check your switch here for the speed, for the on-off. This is your on-off switch here. That's your speed switch. Typically, if you take this out, what I did was I took it out, I cleaned it with some electronics parts cleaner and DeOxit, and then I put a little oil in there. And if you just keep them electrified and spin them and spin them and spin them, more than likely they'll come to life. If you work on, I work on a lot of Star Wars toys. The X-Wings, the Millennium Falcon, they all have this kind of motor, and they all kind of get jammed up. The oil gets old over time, dries up, and then it just becomes sticky, so the motor doesn't want to move. But once it's freed up and lubed, it'll go for you. So if you're changing the bulb out, it's a GE14 bulb, and you can get that right at the hardware store. I have found that my hardware stores don't keep them with like the light bulbs. They're actually in the hardware section, like where you pull out the little drawers and pick out your screws. They're over there. So, and 4 D-cell batteries. So I'm going to put the back on here and see how it lines up. Yeah, just a little trim there on the around the scope here, and that looks really good. Wow, that looks really good. Really finishes it up. I almost want to display it from the back now. So that has been a light refurb of a Jimmy Jet, a TV jet, patent pending, by Deluxe Toys, Deluxe Reading Toys. Basically all it does is turn the motor on with the right hand yoke control arm or whatever it is, and the left one speeds it up. And if I had the missiles that lock in here, these would drop them and make them shoot out. So that's pretty much all it does. All these bells and whistles that do nothing. That is pretty funny. But yeah, it works pretty good. I mean, it scrolls around the same half mile there the whole time. So there's a nice little piece of nostalgia from the 60s, if I do say so myself. Wasn't around in the 60s, but that is pretty cool regardless. I would have loved this as a kid. You know, even though it doesn't have all the bells and the whistles and everything, when you're a kid, it doesn't matter, right? Good to see that it's still here, and I was able to get it into working order. I think I'll keep an eye out on eBay for maybe some pew-pews for the top here, just to complete it. I gotta think it's worth a couple hundred just in this condition. We'll see what they're going here for, or what they sold for is actually more accurate. Boy, I'm really liking the back here. The Jimmy Jet logo I created there. I think that just fits in perfect. The Deluxe logo, actually I didn't recreate that. It was a font. I think it was Magneto. And it just matched right up. So that's kind of neat. I want to thank you for joining me here on this light refurb of this Jimmy Jet. If you have one of these and you need to get it working, I hope this helps you. So I got some cool stuff coming up in the new year, and I'm glad you joined me this year for my first full year of YouTubing. So I want to also wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.
You're sitting around the fire, and keep your filthy hands off the woman I admire, and tell her where I am if she really wants to know. Gift wrapped waiting for her underneath the mistletoe, 'cause I'd rather be rolling with the girlie I'm adoring, with a stiff eggnog waiting for me in the morning. And I'll be there next year, and the party I'm a rocket, but at least I got some money and some green in my pocket. I gotta work again this Christmas. Everyone, my best wishes. Jesus Christ don't mean a thing when you're working for a man for a little chick. I gotta work again this Christmas. Santa come a ringing, he don't bring me bling bling. Santa come a ringing, he don't bring me bling bling. Santa come a ringing, he don't bring me bling bling. Santa come a ringing, he don't bring me bling bling. Oh, I gotta work again this Christmas. Everyone, I best wishes. Jesus Christ don't mean a thing when you're working for the man for a little chick. I gotta work again this Christmas. Santa come a ringing, he don't bring me bling bling.